We are living in a world of T20 cricket. Bang bang, instant gratification, the glamour, the glitz. We want a six of every ball, the cheerleaders, game over in 3 hours. But when it comes to managing our money and finances, we've got to learn to play the long game. Test cricket. That is the secret. Now there are a lot of similarities between Test cricket and investing. It's not always sexy, it can be boring at times, but the true secret to building long-term wealth is actually in Test cricket. And yes, there is place for baseball, there is place for T20, and right at the end of the video, I will share with you how I play T20 with my money. But for the starters, let's look at the 7 points that I feel are so similar between Test cricket and investing. Number one is taking singles. Now, within our financial career and within our money, it's very important that we don't get out. It's important not to look for a six of every ball. It's important to just keep taking singles. Slow, steady, consistent, and doing it for a long period of time. Now, that's basically where your index fund investing comes in, where every month you have a certain amount of money that just goes in. You just keep doing this every single month, whether it's 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 1,000 bucks, it doesn't matter. You just have to keep taking those singles consistently. The beauty of this is that no matter what happens in 5, 10, 15 years, you will see that portfolio grow a significant amount. But if we start taking chances with a significant chunk of our money, we might lose our wicket, which in the long run is of no point, because the whole game of investing is not getting out and just consistently doing the small things right. The second one, as they say in the first hour of Test cricket, is that you got to survive those overcast conditions, survive that tough period, survive the first hour. And very similarly in our lives, we will face times where there is a huge recession. We might lose our job. There might be a recession in the market. Property prices might come down. Stock prices might come down. We've got to be able to withstand that. We've got to be able to withstand those few challenges that come in our life. There might be personal challenges that come in. This is where we need to take care of our emergencies. We got to ensure we have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months at least of our expenses set aside. This will help us weather those tough conditions, weather the time where the ball is swinging around, weather the time where there's overcast conditions, weather the time where the ball is spinning tremendously. We've got to be able to survive those tough conditions. The next one is something which is very peculiar to Test cricket. We don't see this in modern day cricket anymore, but it is called well left, right? And this is basically all those new fads that you see, the latest crypto coin, the latest hot stock, the new greatest gimmick, the get rich quick schemes. We've got to be able to leave them. We've got to be able to, do the well left. We've got to be able to play the Rahul Dravid innings where we just keep leaving all these, financial or investment opportunities that come our way. So unless you've done your due diligence, unless you're sure, and unless you know exactly what you're getting into, be prepared to leave that ball alone. Now, another reason Rahul Dravid was one of the Test cricket greats was because he was rock solid in defense. He was technically sound. And similarly, we've got to be rock solid in defense as far as our money is concerned. We've got to understand investments. We've got to understand our money. We've got to understand how money works. We've got to be technically sound. The way to do this is to educate ourselves. There are so much of free content available on YouTube. There are amazing books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad being, Personal Finance 101. It's something that we all must take some time to read. There are so many summary videos of all these books available on YouTube. Take the time to actually understand so we become technically sound and become rock solid in defense. Now, while I was growing up, Mark Waugh was one of my favorite batsmen, and something that commentators always said while he used to bat in Test cricket was lazy elegance. It just looked beautiful, right? Now, as far as our money is concerned, lazy elegance, the way I relate to it, is that it does not need to have too much of action. There doesn't need to be too much that we need to do. We need to automate everything as far as our finances is concerned. We have to know every day, for example, when our salary comes in, an X portion of it goes into this account, next portion goes into this investment, the next portion goes into this savings account or this emergency fund. It needs to be automatic. It has to be a lazy process. It's not something that we need to have too much of lazy. And lazy elegance is the way you build your financial future. Now, no conversation about Test cricket would be complete without mentioning Virat Kohli. And he is someone who, after playing a few balls and getting his eye in, the commentators would always say, he looks set for a big one. And this is so true as far as our finances are concerned. We've got to realize that we are playing the long game. It's going to be 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe even 35 years. Whenever you do a bit of calculations and I see if I need to pass this much money on to my kids, or if my parents had started investing when they were 18, how much would that have accumulated to today, and how much I would have if they had saved up but we've got to allow time to play in our favor. So Test cricket rather, is a long format game. We've got to be willing to play the long game with our money as well. And now, as promised, as far as the baseball, the T20, the blitz, the glamour, the bang bang of cricket, I also ensure that, to keep things exciting, to have some fun, I put away 10% of my money. So if I have $100 to invest, I'll take $10 and I will, experiment with some crypto. I'll experiment with some hot stock. I'll experiment with some options trading. I'll experiment with some day trading. I'll do a bit of all of this to ensure that, it's exciting. It's also good for me to learn about what's happening, because the minute I buy a certain stock, I end up doing some research. I end up increasing my knowledge. I end up increasing how I play the game of money. So these are the ways that, I play baseball or T20 cricket with my money. Now, if you can think of more similarities between Test cricket and finance, please do let me know in the comments below. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about, or favorite things to discuss. And if you want to start taking singles and building your portfolio for the long term, check out this video I made on investing in index funds, which can really help you take your finances to the next level. Cheers guys, and I'll see you in another video.